Hey everyone, thank you for joining in and hope you are enjoying all of these insightful talks. So today I'll be discussing about the subtle art of subtle loading. So before diving in, for the ones who don't know me, hey, I'm Nikhil. I'm a software engineer at Postman. I mostly handle stuff around the design systems, Postman on the web, and Postman's desktop platform. And also, I'm super excited, as Make already mentioned, that I love to talk about React performance and its internals, and also you could connect with me over Twitter or GitHub. I'd be glad to connect. All right, so let's start the talk with a notion that our users are super fast, right? When it comes to using our UIs, right? So we we love the fact that our users now are using our UIs in a super fast manner. They switch between screens, they go to different flows in the app super quick, and with this there comes a sort of a disadvantage from our side where our hands are tied because we have to go back and forth to the server so that the users can get the content that we want to show them over the pages, right? And then comes a solution known as a loader that we usually show them in the screen, but not using those loaders correctly or having too many loaders in succession can cause a sort of jarring experience for our users, right? Now, to tackle this problem, the whole essence of our talk revolves around the fact that we want to handle these things in a subtle way. And by subtle, we want to make use of clever and indirect methods to make our UI, make our UX more better by having lesser loaders, or if we want to have loaders, how can we reduce too many loaders in that area? So with this, as a gist of the talk, I'll be covering up three subtle tips for a better UX, and those three subtle tips would be these that if don't worry if you're not able to get them what they are all about, because anyways we're gonna discuss them in this talk, right? So first is we don't want to sit idle, we want to keep fetching things, be it UI or be it data. And second, secondly, it will be what to load when, that is a very important question that we're going to see in a demo. And third thing is we always want to be optimistic when it comes to loading our spinners or loading the UIs, right? All right. So with this, time comes for a quick demo. So let's jump right into it. Okay. So for this demo, I have a quick Twitter dashboard. Now you'll be able to see there are two similar apps. So the one on the left will be a normal React synchronous version of this app that we usually do, right? And the other on the right is the one that I've built with concurrent mode and suspense, right? So just to give you what this demo is all about, just quickly load in. So this is a profile section which shows me my name and all. If I go to this about me tab, it shows me an older like a nice loader, and then it fetches stuff and tells me about gives me an about sort of a description. And then if you go to this tweet section, there's this small button that gives you access to the next tweet. If I click on it, it again fetches the tweets and it tells you please don't go to the Twitter searching around these tweets, because this is something that I've contrived. So all right, yeah, so this is mostly the thing for the demo. Okay, so coming on to tip one, which is uh, we want to be we want to keep fetching every time, we don't want to sit idle, right? So let's say how that tip fits in here. So as you already were able to see, if I am on I'm on this app and I want to go to other tab, I always have to fetch something whenever I come onto a tab, right? So this comes up to be a waterfall model. You fetch something once you are you become reactive when you start fetching. So you only come to fetch when the users come onto your screen, right? But maybe we could do this sort of async, or we can do things in parallel. So if you see this section on the synchronous app, you're always going to see a loader whenever you switch tabs, right? But by the time I was showing you this demo, what concurrent mode and suspense were able to do is they were able to fetch our screens and render them in background. And while this demo was done, they were already fetching stuff for all the screens for about me and tweets. So let's see if we were able to see a loader for both of these sections if I switch onto the screen, right? So if I go to about me, we didn't see a loader, no spinner. All right. And what if I go to the tweet section? again, like it just seems like it was already there, right? So it's like a much better user experience to people. So all right, this was up for tip one, and yeah, we were able to like reduce two loaders here. All right. Now let me just quickly for tip number two, let me just quickly remove synchronous mode and go to this about me section. So if you are able to see here, you're gonna see two loaders, right? So one is like for loading the description, and like one is something like to like load something more about the description. Like in this case, like there is this portman that I've like intentionally contrived like to give you an example. So I want to like let people know that this is like the spelling of postman is like wrong in this case, right? So like this, just to give an example, so like what should be the logical order of loading here? So what we want is this description should appear first, no matter what, like when the description or like this meta description loads or not. We want to always render this description first, and then we want to load in the next set of information, because that gives like a semantic ordering of like how users should see your data in order, right? So but like in this case, like whichever loads first, we are going to see that. So maybe like the first description comes first, or like then the data comes first, we don't know. So let's try to tackle in this with a nice API called suspense list. So like if you see this code, we like have two simple suspense blocks to wrap our description and like a meta description. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just wrap all of this with a suspense list, and there's a prop called reveal order, and I want to set it to forwards, and we want to remove this, and we want to wrap all of these two suspense blocks in this suspense list. Now what it does is, reveal order forward says that no matter which of these loads first, I'm always going to load the description first, and then we are going to show the meta description. So like either they both appear together, or they appear like first this the description and then the meta description, right? So now let's try to see how like what happens now. So let me like refresh. I go to about me. So like it's never gonna happen now that this section loads first. So only we're gonna like load this. So this is like for tip number two, like what to load when. That is like a very important question, because it maintains the semantic ordering of what part of UI should be showed in like what order to your users. All right. Now coming into tip number three, and for this tip, we want to dive into the tweets, the next tweet section. Now, like I think you already remember like that for this tweets part, we were always gonna like showing a loader whenever like a person clicks on a tweet. But I want to ask this question: that can we be like sort of optimistic in this part? So like let's say there are like users who are having like a very fast internet connection, and like it won't make sense to like show them these loaders like for a few milliseconds in this case. So like what do we like, what if we say that, hey, we will not show you a loader if your internet, like if your like internet is faster and like your data is appearing super like in a super fast way. So we'll wait for some time, we'll not show any loader, but like if your fetch takes longer than that, then only we'll show loader. And that is where a cool API called use transition comes into picture. So like I've like already written the code, and this consists of two things. Now I have like given it a timeout which says that, okay, this use transition hook will wait. It will not show a loader if the data comes within 2 seconds, but it takes long. If it takes longer than that, we're not going to show the loader. So there's the start transition, and like what we have to do is on my buttons on click, which is like showing a loader and like setting the states, I want to wrap all of my logic in this start transition function. So what it does is it will wait for like these state updates to be done for this 2 seconds of time. And there's also an is pending boolean flag that it gives you. So like just to tell that like did it come or not, or like did it come within time or not. So I've like used this to disable my button for that case. So now let's like see the experience how it comes up. Now all right, let me just refresh, and let me go to the streets. And now, all right, so when I'm clicking on next tweet, I am like seeing a loader. But let's say what happens in the concurrent part of this. So if I click on this, I'll not see like a loader for a few seconds, and like the tweet should appear in an instant. So like let me like click on this. Let's click. It like sort of disables, and then I have like get the tweet. Let me click again. So no loader, and then the tweet appears in an instant. So that's like a like this is like a more subtle way, right, for handling this part. So at least the users who are like having a fast internet connection don't face this problem of like having like seeing loaders each and every time. All right, so this was mostly it. We're gonna go back to slideshow, and yeah, like so we were able to like reduce some of the loaders in this small app. with some very small practices, right? So yeah. Now the next question that you would ask me that, hey Nikhil, is this production ready? Like, can we use these features now in our apps? So the answer would be definitely yes, because React 18 is now available on npm, and the features that I use are like basically part of this React 18 release. So feel free to like check this out and try it out in your apps, and yeah, that would be awesome. So just before ending my talk, on a side note, we are also like creating super crazy stuff at Postman. So if you'd be like would be willing to be a part of our journey, and we wanna build something cool together, check out our careers page and we'd be glad to connect. All right, so with this I end my talk. Thanks a lot for having me, and see you guys.